Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. The first Masters Tour of the year, Festival of Legends Masters Tour, is going to be played on Saturday and Sunday, so tomorrow and day after tomorrow. And the deck lists are now available, so we can take a look at what sort of lineups we can expect, what sort of games we can expect to watch tomorrow and on Sunday. And this is the raw data about the decks. So 16 players, which means that overall there's going to be 64 decks. And yeah, well, the archetype variety is not as great as, well, probably it's what you could expect from a tournament like this. Safe meta decks for the most part. If we try to digest this into a little bit more easily graspable format, then it looks like this. So archetype-wise, 14 Frost Death Knights. Yeah, Frost Death Knight, best deck in the game. 14 Miracle Rogues. Miracle Rogue has always been the favorite of many tournament players, and yeah, it's still going strong. 9 Outcast Demon Hunters, 7 Undead Priests, 6 Relic Demon Hunters, 5 Tony Druids, 4 Burn Mages, 2 Blood Death Knights, 1 Pure Paladin, 1 Pirate Rogue, and 1 Hero Powered Druid. And class-wise, only 7 of the 11 classes are represented. 4 classes, not a single deck out of 64. Everyone brought Death Knights, 16 Death Knights. Everyone but one player brought Rogue, 15 Rogues. Everyone but one brought Demon Hunter, 15 Demon Hunters. And then the rest, well, 7 Priests, 6 Druids, 4 Mages, and 1 Paladin. Definitely could be a little bit more diversity. But yeah, well, what about when we take a deeper look into the decks themselves? Are there any interesting twists? Well, Undead Priest, for example, everyone is playing the Swarm variant. Pretty much the same Frost Death Knight. Yeah, pretty meta stuff, nothing special there. Outcast Demon Hunters, nothing special there either. But there's a couple of interesting twists in the decks, so let's take a look at a couple of the decks in more detail. First of all, there is only one Paladin deck in the tournament, and that is Mesmile's Pure Paladin. And this Pure Paladin deck is a little bit different than the usual list, because this one runs Order in the Court and Blood Crusader. And that is kind of old-fashioned, that is really not that popular right now. It still has the Jitterbug, it still has the Purator, so it has those draw tools as well, but it also runs Order in the Court. Order in the Court is doing quite alright actually when I looked into statistics of decks that are running it, but the best Order in the Court lists typically don't run Blood Crusader. The Order in the Court Blood Crusader combo just hasn't been that awesome as of late, but we'll see what Mesmile is going to be able to do with this one. Then we have a Blood Death Knight deck from Meati. This is a Renatal Blood Death Knight, and this one actually, something that I have been talking about in my previous videos that I have been recommending. I haven't had time to try it out myself, but no Ghost Riders in this one, instead a pair of Paparazzis. Because just looking through statistics, it seemed to me like Paparazzi would be the ideal discover card for this archetype, so I really look forward to seeing Paparazzi in action in Meati's Blood Death Knight. Seeing all those legendary discovers, see if it really helps the archetype the way I think it will. Although Meati also has a Deathbringer Saurfang in this deck. And Deathbringer Saurfang, I thought that was kind of a refuted concept. The performance of Deathbringer Saurfang has been abysmal in the decks where it has been used, but we'll see. Well, a little bit of spice into otherwise fairly standard Renatal Blood Death Knight. Then there is this, by far the weirdest deck in the tournament. It's Surrender's Hero Power Druid. And what makes this weird is that, well, the deck code didn't give me the contents of the ETC. I don't know what's in the ETC. I also tried to look, okay, has anyone played a Druid deck like this? And no one has played a Druid deck like this. So, I don't know what's in the ETC. I don't know what the real plan is here. I think the ETC probably contains stuff like Crazed Alchemist and Jailer, but note that you can't do the Jailer-Tony combo because there's no Tony and there's no Jailer in the main deck, so you can discover something with ETC, but you can't discover them both. So it's not a Tony Druid. It's more like some kind of Hero Power Druid. And I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with the deck code, or we'll see. I just think that maybe it is just a Hero Power Druid with Crazed Alchemist as a win condition, or alternatively Jailer as a win condition, both hidden within the ETC, but we'll have to wait and see. This is one deck that I really want to see, like, what is the deck really trying to do? We have only 2 Blood Death Knights in the tournament. The other 14 Death Knights are all pretty standard Frost Death Knights. The other Blood Death Knight is also interesting. Levik is bringing a 30-card Blood Death Knight list. That's not completely unique. Some people have been playing 30-card Blood Death Knight on the ladder, although very, very few people. But still, its performance hasn't been that great, so I really wonder why. I mean, it is faster. Finding your key cards from 30 cards is faster than finding them from 40 cards. It does run Zola the Gorgon, which isn't present in the 40 card list. So you can Zola Patchwork or you can Zola Astalor. There's some things that you can do with this, but still a bit of a strange choice, especially considering how weakly this 30 card list has been performing on the ladder. And then we have some rogue decks, and well, there's a bunch of miracle rogue decks, and then there is one pirate rogue deck brought by Gyu. And this is not a list that I could find statistics for. This of course resembles some of the pirate rogue lists. This is the fastest variant of pirate rogue, so no 5 mana cards, nothing sunken in this one. Just get your swordfish, make it big, use your pirates, blast phase. What's unique in this list is Shadow of Demise. Shadow of Demise has not been used in any of the pirate rogue lists that I could find statistics for. Other than that, yeah, we'll see. Very aggressive, very low curve pirate rogue deck. Really looking forward to seeing it perform. And finally, the miracle rogue decks. There are 2 styles of miracle rogue in this tournament. Roughly even split between them. Maybe a small minority have brought Necrolord Draka. Jarla, for example. Necrolord Draka, Battlecry, equip a 1/3 dagger, +1 attack for each other card you played this turn. This deck is a real blast from the past. It's Draka, it's Sinstone Graveyard, it's the Concoction package. It does run 2 copies of Fan, and Cult Neophyte makes an appearance, so some new cards have been included. Although those are core set cards, so actually it doesn't feature cards from Festival of Legends. Festival Legends overrated. Anyway, yeah, will be interesting to see Necrolord Draka back in Miracle Rogue, because right now looking at ladder statistics, there are no statistics of Draka variant of Miracle Rogue. None whatsoever. And yet multiple people are bringing in this, so we'll see if Draka is going to be able to solve some games and win some games in this tournament. So yeah, overall, of course, the class variety, only 7 classes have been brought into the tournament. 3 of the classes are brought by almost every player. Not a lot of different archetypes, but there's a little bit of spice here and there if you know what to look for. And hopefully those decks will see a lot of games and we'll get to see some interesting Hearthstone in addition to just a lot of meta games. But those are going to be played on Saturday and on Sunday, so we'll see how it goes then. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.